5-ish. Okay. Oh, what's up, Daniel? How you doing? Hope your day has been well. Now I'm curious to see how many people show up that didn't get a that I didn't I forgot to send it a reminder. So I know this is a it's been good. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I'm hoping to use this particular stream to just really to kind of come up with like ideas for videos because like I miss filming stuff and I'm kind of limited on what I can do because like literally like and I think like moving forward like I've had to make like a couple of changes. But again, I'm really trying to go all out with this year and just not sure how it's gonna turn out by the end. So, got anything you want to talk about or anything you want to ask or throw it at me? Go right ahead because it looks like it's just us for now until hopefully more people show up. What are my predictions for this week's state of play? Um, well, personally, I've heard all kinds of things. I mean, maybe get an announcement on Phantom Blade, maybe get some DLC content involving some pre-announced for some DLC content for Resident Evil because Resident Evil's in like 2 weeks, so maybe they'll show something from there. I've heard that they might have a trailer for Devil May Cry 6. I'm really not sure. I'm just hoping that they do like at least one, maybe two announcements for an exclusive franchise. Because but don't get me wrong. This year you've pre-ordered it. Yeah, same here. So don't worry. I'm on top of that. So yeah, we're both on top of that. So honestly, I'm sure a lot of it will be announcements for some DLC content for either games that are currently out or games that will be coming out soon. Maybe some official release dates for some games that will be coming out, and hopefully an announcement of like at least two exclusive like games. That's my prediction, and that's what I hope for. But again, who knows? Typically, the last couple of them haven't really been that great. So hopefully this one kind of makes up for it, and they give us actually something exciting. Hey, what's up? Hoping for Marvel. Yeah, that could be one of them. I'm just sure that they'll give us like a definitive release date for something. And welcome Wings there to the stream. So you might be right because that's one of the more popular games that's set to come out this year. So maybe they want to lock it down for a release date and maybe reveal a collector's edition because a game like that, they'd be crazy not to add collector's editions. Like maybe the collector's edition will come with like some sort of Wolverine mask or something. That would be cool. Do I like movies or video games that have shared universes? That's honestly, Wing, I don't think games have shared universes. That rarely happens. I mean, like maybe like something like Marvel versus Capcom, but that's one thing that's only in fighting games. I can't really recall too many franchises that like actively cross over into each other's timeline. So I guess just by default, movies are probably better, but you're only going to see that in comic book movies because that's the only time that's ever been done. Like, can you name any movie that wasn't a comic book where they actually crossed over? Now, I mean, I'm not saying like cameos, but like, because I think the T-1000 shows up in Wayne's World, but I don't think that's a shared universe. So I just think by default, maybe movies are just better at it than games are. Hey Zach, welcome to the stream. Hope your day's going well. I've had quite a productive day. Hopefully, when more people show up, Tarantino films, Alien. Do they? Do Tarantino films cross over? I don't. Can you give me an example? Because I don't recall that a character kept showing up, and I can't recall that ever happening. And Alien versus Predator, you could say that, but like Alien and Predator are owned by they're both owned by Fox. So I guess that technically is one example, but it's like one of the few examples. But yeah, as I was saying, it's like hopefully when more people show up, I can like ask you guys for just throw ideas at me for videos because honestly, I just miss filming. And with me only having half of Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday, those are like the only times I have to do anything, whether it's play games or see a movie or film anything. It's like I need to just come up with just a list of ideas for any kind of video and then set specific days to film them in. I think that's like the one. Like I've just been having a hard time with inspiration. Maybe it's writer creator's block or something, but just like I miss filming stuff. Managed to beat Resident Evil Revelation 1 mode. Okay, that's gotta be challenging. If Devil May Cry 6 is announced, no. Okay. You know what? I might. That's actually an idea for a video. I wish I'd film. Maybe I could film it. No, it might be a little too late. I did. That's one of the big games that I heard could be announced tomorrow. Is Devil May Cry 6, which I hope. I think is time. It's been like 7 years since Devil May Cry 5 came out, and they're done with Resident Evil. And I pray to God they don't try to remake Resident Evil 5. So and Onimusha is coming out. So I think if they were going to announce the next Capcom game, it would probably have to be Devil May Cry. Honestly, the one thing here's two things I do want. One, I don't want Dante and Virgil in it. I think the franchise has gone as far as we can with Dante and Virgil. That whole rivalry thing, I think it ended on a very good conclusion with Devil May Cry 5. So I think moving forward, you can actually have a game definitively focus on Nero. Now, if you want to add like a secondary character, I think that's fine because that's what all these games do. Going back to Devil May Cry 2, where you're not just playing as Dante, you're playing as multiple characters. So I do think moving forward, if we do get a Devil May Cry 6, it has Nero and another playable character, but it does not involve Dante or Virgil. I think we can move on from that. That's like the definitive thing I would want personally. You can rank a video of Final Fantasy League characters. Technically, I know I've done that. 100%. 100%. I know for a fact that is a video. I think it's called Ranking Main Heroes. That absolutely is something I know I've done. I'm going to double check. But I'm positive. Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. August 7th, 2021, worst to best Final Fantasy main heroes. Tier list. Yes, it's almost 5 years ago, but the list would not have changed. And I've done the same thing with the villains because between now and then, only one game came out, and that would be 16. And if I'm being honest, just looking at that list, Clive would be pretty high. But I'm just like, where would I put him? Like, let me just take a look here. But that's a good idea. It's just I don't think the list the list would not have changed at all once I just take a quick look at it. Let's see, where's everybody? Okay. Okay, so I have four characters in A. I have Terra, Cloud, Squall, and Yuna. If I were to put, where would I put Clive? Clive would probably take the number 5 spot in A rank. So he'd be an A character, and he would be behind Yuna. So overall, he would take the number 5 spot as numbers of my favorite main character, or who I think is like the best hero main character, which I think is pretty good because Clive is a really great character. So yeah, I don't. That's a good idea, but I don't think I need to do that. But you have, but since there's four of you in here, I'm sorry. By the way, I'm sorry for all the yawning. I didn't really get much sleep because I've had to. I guess I can share this. I had to do some just blood work at a doctor this morning, and I'll get results for that to next week. And then I gotta go see a cardiologist tomorrow, and that's gonna be like 3 hours. They're gonna do all kinds of tests and take scans of my heart and check arteries and stuff like that. And then I think the following day or next week, I have to go to the dentist in order to get my permanent cap because right now I got a temporary one because I had to get one redone for obvious reasons. You're not the only one who's tired. I don't know. I just put. Oh, it's just I don't know. I think being 35 and working two full-time jobs, I don't know. It's starting to get to me a little bit. Like I can definitely feel myself breaking down a little bit, and so it's been a little bit. It's hard to sleep sometimes, and I don't want to resort to sleeping pills. That's the very thing that got Michael Jackson killed. So let's stay away from that. Man, 13 minutes in. I'll be 33 in October. Oh, sweet. 33. That's number special. How do you feel? Do you feel old? Do you still feel youthful? I had a moment like I think last year when I sat down. I was sort of like, oh my god. Like I think it was last year. I think it was last year when I was playing Kingdom Hearts and I realized that oh my god, Kingdom Hearts 1 came out 20 years ago. There are probably people my age that have grandkids, maybe that were playing Kingdom Hearts young in their youth then that may have just become grandparents, and that sucks. Like shit, but that's how I feel. I'm good. Top 3 favorite movies? Okay, you want top 3? Okay, in no particular order, it would be Inception, Dark Knight, and Terminator 2. In no particular order, I mean, top 3 movies. Hey, what's up, Cerberus? Hey, you missed today's live stream. I was on Twitch for like a good 50 minutes. No one showed up. I thought you might show up because something kind of incredible happened. But I can't share it because no one was there. But it was pretty cool. I'm kind of sad that no one joins me on Twitch because I'm really trying here. And I'm pretty sure I'll finish Kingdom Hearts next week, and then we'll move on to something else. Because I'm currently playing through Dragon Quest, and I literally filmed my semi review of it earlier today, which I hope to get out either later tonight or early tomorrow. And I think moving forward, that's probably how I'll end up doing my reviews. Like, I don't have the time to like play through the game fully, so I think if I put like at minimum like 15 to 20 hours and I get pretty far in to the point where I know at kind of where this is going, I think that'll be enough to do a review. So instead of taking like 3 to 4 weeks, I might be able to get a review out in maybe maybe 1.5. So that is something I am going to shoot for. And I've had a fun time playing Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. So you didn't get the notification due to several stuff. Chris Pratt as Isaac Clarke? No. No. We don't need Chris Pratt in Dead Space. At this point, get an unknown. Like, I think at some point, if you're so big, you don't need to be putting everything. Like, I know that putting a star might draw eyes, but like sometimes you don't need to put just an actor in a franchise just for the heck of it. Like, I care about the story, the atmosphere. If you have that, it'll work. Like, you gotta remember, the first Alien movies, no one knew who the hell Sigourney Weaver was, and that went on to something. So if you're gonna start like a new franchise or like make a first introduction into an old franchise, I'd hire an unknown to play Isaac Clarke. Like, maybe someone that's done a lot of TV stuff and has just been looking for that first main lead role, then that's what I would do. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, there's a bullshit rumor that Kingdom Hearts 1 is getting a remake. That would not surprise me. I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner. If they want to remake Kingdom Hearts 1, I'm totally cool with that. Like, if they want to, like, just maybe update the visuals, maybe enhance the combat a little bit, maybe expand the world a little bit more. If they want to do that, I'm totally cool with that. Just don't touch Kingdom Hearts 2. You can touch any other Kingdom Hearts, just not 2. 2 is perfect just the way it is. However, if there is one thing I would change, I would get rid of the Little Mermaid world, put another world in, or just redo the Little Mermaid world and actually make it a real world that you can actually explore and fight in. Like in the first game. Like, that's the one change I would add. Everything else can stay the same. But heck, if they want to remake Kingdom Hearts 1, that's fine, because you're not getting Kingdom Hearts 4 anytime soon. Like, I'm positive. Like, I'm positive. Like, Daniel here is 33, I'm 35. By the time Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, me and him will probably be close to our 40s, if not early 40s. So don't expect Kingdom Hearts 4 anytime soon. It took 13 years to get Kingdom Hearts 3. Expect to wait another 13 years. So, just by that standard, let's see. I'm curious. Kingdom Hearts 3 release date. Like, if Kingdom Hearts 3 came out in January of 2019, don't expect Kingdom Hearts 4 to come out till at least 2030. Minimum 2030. That's when you can expect it to come out. Dan, you haven't played Dragon Quest. What is your first game and introduction? Personally, my introduction to Dragon Quest was Dragon Quest XI. But I'll be honest, from what I've played of this game, if you wanted an introductory game, get Dragon Quest VII. It is so easy. It's user friendly. It's very, very simple. It's got a very simple story. It's not too complicated. It doesn't get too crazy. It plays it very, very safe. It's something that kids could get into. So if you're curious, I would absolutely recommend it. Again, I have a review which I'll be sure to get out later today or sometime tomorrow. But personally, I think this is a great introduction to anyone that isn't too familiar with or hasn't played too many entries or didn't play the original. So if you get a chance to play or have an opportunity, I would suggest you do it because it's really fun. Skiles says Buster. What's that? And Comic Gamer, but getting away from with Star-Lord, but not Isaac Clarke. Yeah, but I just don't. You don't need, like, get someone younger. Like, Chris Pratt's in his 40s. Get someone younger. Like, if you're gonna play Isaac Clarke, have him be like someone in the late 20s, because that's how old Isaac is. Like, he's not an old man. He's older in the later games, but like that one, he's only like 29. The Chill Moon, thoughts on comic accurate suit from shown of Cyclops from Doomsday? Well, I'm not seeing that film, but I saw the suit and okay. I mean, I didn't have a problem with the matching uniforms in all the X-Men Fox films. I never have a problem with them. I mean, okay, they want to go with the blue and yellow. I mean, that's fine. No complaints. They did that in for Wolverine and Deadpool, and that looked fine. But that was kind of a goofy film. I personally would not have wanted him to wear that in any of the standard X-Men films. I'm gonna be honest. I would not have wanted to see that. That would have looked a little weird. Like, I actually liked that they had uniforms because it made them feel like a real team. Like a unified team. Now, I'm not saying that teams can't have different outfits because most teams do, and especially in the comic books, the X-Men all look differently. But I'm saying that for the movies, those films, I was totally fine with them. Commander Shepard, what game am I hoping to see at State of Play? Honestly, I don't really care. But I did hear that maybe Devil May Cry might get announced. All I want is a couple of release dates for some games we know are coming out this year that haven't been given a definitive release date. They'll probably share some early DLC content that will come out for some games coming out later this year or already out. And hopefully they announce 2 games that are exclusive. So at minimum, 6 games, release dates, future DLC content, 2 exclusive franchise announcements. That's what I'm hoping for. Or just announcements for big upcoming games. That's what I want to see from State of Play tomorrow. But to be fair, these last few State of Plays have not been very good. So I'm not going to keep my hopes up. Yeah, there's a rate is more likely we're getting a remake. I'll be 40 by 2033 and gave up on Kingdom Hearts after 3. Same here, Daniel. I gave up. Like, I'm done with Kingdom Hearts. Like, 3 put me off it. Like, I gave up. So, I'm done with the plot. So, whenever Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, I have no interest in playing it. I can stick with Chain of Memories and Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And to some degree, some aspects of 3 are still okay, even though you're powerful as shit. But, like, I don't need to play any more Kingdom Hearts games. I'm good. Can you do a marathon month like Batman month to get ready for Wolverine? With what? With what? Wolverine doesn't have enough content for a month's worth. He doesn't have enough movies or games or animated films. Like, that would be almost impossible. Alright, The Chill Moon. Do you like Pixar's Cars films? Apparently Cars 4 will be announced this year since Cars 1 turns 20. I've seen the first Cars. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was anything amazing. I didn't even know there was a second and third film. I'll be honest, I really didn't know that, but I mean, I don't really care. It's not really my cup of tea. Cerberus, my thing is that I don't see the point in them remaking any older Kingdom Hearts games since they've already re-released the... That is a very good point. They have re-released those suckers so many times. It's just like, why bother remaking it when you can just re-release it again? Although, to be fair, there would be no point in re-releasing it again. Just say, okay, we're re-releasing it on PlayStation 5. It's like, why? I can just take my PlayStation 4 copy. Like, I'm playing my PlayStation 4 copy on my PlayStation 5. You don't have, like, there's nothing more you can do. Unless they want to make, like, a bundle package that has 2 discs that have every single Kingdom Hearts game. And just call it Kingdom, like, that's the only, re-release I can think of, is if they release a bundle packet that literally has not only every Kingdom Hearts game, but every version of the game. So, like, if you get Birth by Sleep, you can either get the PlayStation version, or you can get the Game Boy copy. If you can get like the 3DS version or whatever, but like that I could see them trying. State of Play, lame, the center of video game views, huh? Yeah, right, yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2.5 is the best. Yes, I agree, especially the final mix. That is what I am currently playing through on the side of Dragon Quest Reimagined 7, but yeah. What the heck happened in Metal Gear Solid 2? A lot of craziness. That's what happened in Metal Gear Solid 2. Chill. Have I seen the new pictures of Spider-Man Noir TV show? You're super excited. Yeah, I've seen pictures. I mean, it looks okay. Like, I'll check it out when it comes out, but I'm not gonna, be super excited for it. It just, it looks okay. Would God of War 3 be rated R or NC-17? Oh, R. R. I mean, dude, I don't, like, it's not, like, I don't know why you would think NC-17, like, because, like, you see 3 women with their tits out? I mean, you see more than that in American Pie, and that came out in the 90s, so, dude, I'm sorry, like, a few women with their tits out is not going to get you an NC-17. So, yeah, no, it'd be R-rated. And heck, if you downplay, I mean, it's really, if anything, it's the gore that gets that. There's not really much sex in God of War 3, so yeah, that's unusual. Trailblazer, Kingdom Hearts has been re-released the same amount of times as Battle of God has been remade. You might be right. Let's see. They've released the original, then they re-released it. Okay, technically it was. Let's see. First there was the original, then they finally released the final mix, but they packed it with 1.5, and that was on PlayStation 3. And then they did it again, and they came with both 1.5 and 2.5 final remixes. So yeah. I mean, so this is like the last time they remixed it. So yeah. Honestly, if they re-release Kingdom Hearts, it'll be something like this, but it'll have Kingdom Hearts 3. Because this thing has almost every single game. You have Final Mix Kingdom Hearts 1, Final Mix Kingdom Hearts 2, Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep, Recoded, and 358/2 Days. You throw in Kingdom Hearts 3 in this thing, and you have, like, you're going to call it Kingdom Hearts the Ultimate Edition that has every single Kingdom Hearts game. So I could certainly see them doing that. Why? Why? What happened in Metal Gear Solid 2? A lot of craziness. Why? Because that's Metal Gear. It's all crazy. Would you rather play Metal Gear Solid 2 over 5? Okay, 2's not a... Okay, Comic Gamer, why do you think... I don't hate Metal Gear Solid 2. It's a fine game. It's not a bad game. I've never said it's a bad game. It's a fine Metal Gear Solid game. I just don't think it's as good as, say, something like 1 or 2 or 4. But it's still a solid Metal Gear Solid game. It just does like a lot of retelling in a sense of like Metal Gear Solid 1. And the game openly tells you this near the end. Like they say that this whole thing has been just like a simulation copy of the Shadow Moses incident or the technically Zanzibar Land incident. Or incident in Outer Heaven. They kind of tell you that. So, but Metal Gear Solid 2, it's not a bad game just because it had Raiden in it. I mean, there's a lot of cool things about that game. So I don't hate Metal Gear Solid 2. It's perfectly fine. Do you think the Amazon Wolfenstein live action series will be levels of gore as The Boys? It could be. I could see it certainly going that direction, Chill Moon. Rocket, you just got back from a cruise to the Bahamas, and it's my first time outside the U.S. Really, Rocket? How was it? Do you have any advice? Because I'm actually looking to go on my first cruise this year. I'm just not sure where to go. So, yeah, please let me know. Daniel, in the UK, the age of rating movies is UPG 12, 15, and 18. Well, I'm sure the rating system is different everywhere in the world, so. What games do you think deserve a new game plus? Damn, that's tough. I'd probably say anything that's like an action, maybe an action game, or like a survival horror game. But all those games have like technically new game pluses anyway. So, all crazy. What about the Profound Peace, the Seagulls, the Sunset, or EE? I'm not okay. There was a lot of craziness in the sense that, well. it was just kind of crazy with the whole AI thing, and then like everything being run like in a simulation, and like we're gonna threaten certain people. There's just a lot of craziness, not bad craziness, but like it's Kojima ish. I just thought, it went a little bit overboard in a funny, in a good sense at times. But like, there's some good moments in Metal Gear Solid 2. Again, I don't hate it. Commander Shepard, for me, Borderlands 4 and Just Cause deserve it. Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't play either of those games, so heck, I'll take your word for it. Rocket, now you're going back to Florida to continue the main trip. Oh, okay. And Bahamas was, okay. Alright. Does Metal Gear Solid 3 have a new game plus? Yes, it does. 100%. 100%. Yes, I know that for a fact. It does. Because if you beat the boss in a certain way, you can actually replay the game, and like the first gun you get is like her Patriot gun, which has infinite ammo. So like one funny playthrough I did was I literally just held the fire button. It just ran. It just killed everything inside. I killed so many people just to be funny. But yeah. It's crazy how much you can get away with TV. Well, to be fair, kids nowadays, like, to be fair, things that would have shocked kids back then when I was a kid are like not any you're shocking now. Like, I only discovered this now. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, this was not a thing when I was in like early elementary school and middle school. But ever since, here's the thing that's scary. Ever since these parents have been giving these kids these smartphones that have internet access and have no parental guidance, I did not even know this. Kids as young as like 4th and 5th graders are getting access to corn. And I did not, and I find that scary. I was like, this is why I would never entertain giving my child a smartphone. Like, why are we spending all this money on these advanced phones for little kids? What do these little kids need smartphones? But like, the level of exposure to it is crazy. Like, I would say personally, I didn't get, like, I was accidentally exposed to it when I was maybe 14 or 15, which may be kind of late, but like, the age of that is getting so low. It's crazy and kind of scary. I recommend you listen to Ordinary by Alex Wharton. Okay. Has anyone ever tried to make fun of you for liking something that they think is for little kids? No, I can't recall that. Why? I mean, dude, I'm 35 years old. I don't live with my parents, and I pay my own bills, and I play video games and make YouTube videos on gaming. I mean, it's my life. I can do whatever the heck I want with it, so who cares? About Spider-Man 2025, Lex Luthor looks like Megamind. Does Metal Gear Solid 3 have any side missions? Not, I wouldn't say, I'd say no. I would say no. It doesn't have any, like, the typical definition of a side mission. I would say no. It's pretty linear and straightforward in terms of your objectives. Wing Zero, what's up with the kids? Yeah, I know. Kids nowadays try to live like adults. I know, it's crazy. Like, I've seen some of the freakiest stuff these last few years that kids do that this would never have been acceptable in the 90s. I literally watched a kid who couldn't have been any older than 5 or 6 tell his mother to literally, in the arcade, tell her to fuck off. And before I would have been, if I had done that, I'd been chucked out a window. And before the mom was like, before she could do anything, he just pulled out his phone and started streaming. It's like, what are you going to do about it? And like, everyone did that. And I was like, it's like, you can't even discipline your kid in public anymore. Like, if you try to do that, you're going to be put on the internet and be classified as a bad parent and have Child Protective Services called on you for beating your child. Like, that's crazy. And I was like, why would you even buy your kid a phone? Why do they have a Twitch? Why do they have access to social media? What are we doing? I didn't even have my first social media account till MySpace went till maybe I was a junior in high school in like 2006. And even back then I didn't really start using it that often. But like now kids today are like friends and following their teachers off of Twitter and Instagram, and that's crazy. Am I a fan of Midnight Club 3? Sadly no. Sadly no. Your nephews were both scared of Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding in a way they didn't realize? Really? Okay. uh, I don't know what there would be. I mean, I guess Death Stranding has BDs, so I mean, I guess that could be scary to some people. A lot of young people, kids, and teenagers nowadays like to smoke weed and hang out with bad influences. Yeah, it's sad, and that's like a key reason why like I would be scared to have kids. Like, it's not so much I'm worried about myself. It's like, do I think I have what it takes to raise a kid that would have to survive in this world? Do I really want to bring a kid into this world, knowing how like fucked up it is? I don't know. Like, there'd have to be like a little bit of like, unless you're like having kids accidentally to act to. I'll say this: anyone who actively wants to have kids, there's got to be a little part of you, and I'm not, and I hope my brother doesn't see this. Is a little crazy to want to bring a, like, if you're not financially stable, you'd be a little bit crazy to bring a kid into this world now. Like, I would wait a few years. What you do if you were in the world of Death Stranding? I'd just be a local porter and never go outside, never leave my base. I would just rely on porters to get me my stuff. I would just never leave. Comic Gamer, wouldn't it be inappropriate for kids following teachers on social media? It should be inappropriate, but they do it anyway. The Chill Moon, if some talented director was going to make a Metal Gear Solid TV show and contacted you for help, no, I'm the wrong person. There are far better people that could do it. Far better people. I mean, I appreciate the offer, but like, I want the best possible product, and there are people that know it better than me. I do not claim to be the foremost expert in Metal Gear. I know a lot. I know a lot than the average fan, but there are people that know it better than me. Worst thing about it is that one of my cousins did is cheating in their exam in the school and got into it with his mother and was disappointed. Yeah. Why don't I have a girlfriend? I don't think they know I exist. Do you ever want to have kids of your own? At this stage of my life, probably no. Like, I don't know. If, like, I happen to, like, fall into fatherhood, I wouldn't run away from it, but is it something I actively seek now? Probably not. I think there are enough kids in the world. I don't need to bring another one in. Comic Gamer, because I have a friend who texted me the teacher 2 in the morning. Yeah, like stuff like that is weird. If you got teleported into the, oh god, what would I do? I'd try to get the fuck out of the grid. Are you crazy? I don't want to be de-rezzed. Does understanding Metal Gear Solid require knowing or memory? Well, I think it requires knowing and memory to understand anything in life, so I guess to some degree, yes. Because he left the transition program due to just turn 22. Damn. That's rough. I'm sorry to hear that. What would I do if I was in the world of Mass Effect? I would live a quiet life and not get in any trouble. It's like, dude, like, Wing, I don't... So we apply that to Metal Gear Solid and we still can't understand it. I guess not. I guess not. What is Hollywood these days? Because nothing is original in the film industry like Avatar. Avatar is not original. I don't know what, Daniel, I promise you, Avatar is not original. There's nothing about that film that is original at all. If you want to see Avatar, just watch Dances with Wolves or The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. That is the exact same plot. They just didn't need sequel to get their point across. What if you understand Metal Gear was to come up with the thoughts of imitation? I have no idea. I'm not even sure how to answer that. What is one game that is like the Dark Knight of video games? Arkham Asylum? I would say that probably Batman Arkham Asylum. The Dark Knight really changed the game in terms of comic book movies, and I'd say Batman Arkham Asylum did the same thing at the time. I leave next year because I'm turning 22 in 2027. Oh, okay. I understand that. So the final Fast and Furious film is called Fast Forever. Oh, dear Lord. Coming in 2028, but watch it make so much money they decide not to. If anything, they'll maybe reboot it with like a new cast of characters. But like they say they want to go back to like street racing. Do people even do street racing like that anymore? Like I don't even know if they do that anymore. Like it's been a very long time since I've seen, like I can't even remember the last time I've seen a custom car like that. So I have no idea if people are even customizing their cars like that. Like I can't recall the last time I heard anyone street racing or anything. So I think that had a time in like the early 2000s, but that phased out. Like so I don't think anyone is street racing anymore. I think Arkham City is like the Dark Knight of games. No, I don't think so. I think Arkham Asylum did it first. I think Arkham Asylum is better. I think it's a better, I will say this to the end of time. If you're talking on a technical standpoint, you could say Arkham City is better than Arkham Asylum. But the problem is that in its attempt to make it a bigger game, it had a number of problems and flaws that were not in Arkham Asylum, which is why I still think Arkham Asylum is the best one. It actually got the concept of what it was like to be in Arkham and its effect on Batman. You don't really get that in Arkham Asylum. You don't get that in Arkham City or Arkham Knight to a degree. They kind of just want to make it bigger, and it kind of loses that fear edge. The Dark Knight 2018, I was really obsessed with that movie. I saw it a few times in theaters. I did too. It is just does the Fast and Furious franchise have too many movies? Yes. Yes, it does. All these franchises have too many movies, but they all make money. So, heck, as long as they make money, they'll keep making them. Like anything else. What is the most graphic game you've ever played? Like a violent gore was ridiculous that it was basically rated for adults? Wait, graphics? Mortal Kombat, if you're talking about gore, I mean, the whole point of that game is to kill people, so, I mean, so I'd say Mortal Kombat 1? I mean, those fatalities look pretty real, so I'll say that. When should the next Doom come out? Honestly, we got 3 Doom games. We had 2 during the PlayStation 4 era. We got 1 here. Don't expect the next Doom to come out till next gen. That's when I would expect it. Did I ever play Manhunt 1 and 2? No. No, I did not play Manhunt. By the time I would have been around to play those games, I was just not interested. So 100% no. Wonder when Mortal Kombat 12 or Street Fighter 7. Daniel, I hate to tell you this, technically Mortal Kombat 1 is Mortal Kombat 12. They just redid the timeline. So if you're talking technical, 12 is out. 12 is 1. It's like, yeah, technically it's already out. So what you mean to say is Mortal Kombat 13, which will probably be called Mortal Kombat 2 of the new timeline. So, just to correct you. And I don't care about Street Fighter. Street Fighter is for amateurs. What is my biggest problem with Grand Theft Auto 5? It's just Grand Theft Auto is just not that great of a series. I mean, it's never a 10. I mean, I think I gave Grand Theft Auto 5, I think I gave the game like a 7.5. It's just a lot of the same. If you've played one Grand Theft Auto game, you've played them all. It's just bigger and more graphics. I mean, you're gonna get a bunch of people just going to some strip clubs and like being with hookers and then beating them up and taking their money, or just going around doing mindless killing. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is Grand Theft Auto. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing special. Grand Theft Auto 5 is your third favorite game of all time? Okay, no, good for you. Shock, it took you that Grand Theft Auto was a huge game franchise even though you aren't much. I mean, it's controversial. I mean, I remember the whole hot coffee controversy back in the late 2000s, but like I was too young to play that game, so I didn't really think much about it. So you think Genesis was capable of... Wait, what? So you think Genesis was a capable fighter in the Final Fantasy series? Well, obviously he was, because he was a comparable fighter to someone like Sephiroth, so anyone who could keep up with Sephiroth is easily a compatible fighter. Of course he could. Sorry, you meant 13. Yes, it would, in a technical term, the next Mortal Kombat would be Mortal Kombat 13, but they'll be calling it Mortal Kombat 2. I think what you want to ask is, when is Injustice 3 coming out? Because that's easily the next game NetherRealm Studios is going to work on. Because that's typically how they do their fighting games. They do Mortal Kombat, then they do Injustice. So expect to see an Injustice announcement before this generation comes to an end. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a masterpiece. I mean, okay. I mean, outside of Trevor, that game isn't really memorable. I can't even remember who the other two characters are. I remember Trevor very well, but I literally do not remember the names of the other two characters. I don't know their names. In fact, I can't think of the names of any main character in any Grand Theft Auto game. Like, I don't know who the main character was in 4. I don't know who the main character was in San Andreas or Vice City or 3 or Liberty City Stories or Vice City Stories. Outside of Trevor, that's all I know of that game. I don't know anything about the other characters. Come to an end? I don't know. Favorite interpretation of Harley Quinn? Probably the animated series, but I think that's when she was created. So, I guess the first interpretation of her is kind of the best one. Because as far as I can recall, Harley did not appear in the comic books before she appeared in the animated series. I could be wrong about that, but that's my early memories of that character. I literally do not remember seeing her at any time before the animated series. So Travis Scott is in Odyssey for Christopher Nolan. Okay, I didn't know that. Don't care, because I'm not going to see that film. I'll say this openly. I don't give a fuck about the Odyssey. I'll say it right now. Don't give a fuck about it. I will not be watching it. Ever. Hello, Jackie Boy. How you doing? You ever read People's Magazine or watched E? No. No. And welcome to the stream, Mayboom. We have 11 minutes, yes. Pretty sure Harley Quinn was a cartoon original. Yeah, I thought so too. My favorite interpretation is from Injustice 2 game. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a solid version. Have I ever watched VH1? God, that's old. Now that MTV's gone, wow. Yeah, I used to watch it back in the day when I wasn't watching MTV. God dang. In fact, the MTV's gone. That's a scary thought. I do extensive research on awesome games/game franchises I wish I played, including Metal Gear Solid. Well, you can always start. Someone told me, okay, you're lying. Tom Holland is not Isaac Clarke. There's no plans to do a Dead Space movie. I think you're trying to get a rise out of me, and it's not gonna work. There's no way they're gonna make a film for a dead franchise. It was a nice remake, but Dead Space is a dead franchise. They already concluded that apparently the Dead Space remake did not sell enough to get a sequel, so it is back to being dead. We will not get a Dead Space movie. Heck, we already have 2 Dead Space movies, so we don't need another one. How was your day? My day's alright. How about you? You missed MTV back when Beavis and Butthead were still funny to watch? Yeah, and they actually played music instead of it being a lot of reality television shows and crazy game shows. Like, yeah, I miss it when it was just music. Could any Metal Gear Solid character take on a DC... What? No? What the hell is Solid Snake gonna do against Superman? What the hell would any of them do? They're not even super soldiers to the same degree. What the hell would Solid Snake do against Captain America? Nothing. There is nothing a Metal Gear weapon. What the hell is that gonna do to something like Darkseid? Nothing. Are you kidding? You have characters that could blow up the entire Metal Gear Solid reality with just a snap of their fingers. Absolutely not. I mean, unless you're talking about like just human characters in DC that have like no powers at all. But like superheroes and supervillains, absolutely not. And we got 8 minutes left. You guys got any final questions before we head out? Dead Space 2 is great. Dead Space 2 is amazing. It's not just great. It's the greatest survival horror game I've ever played, even to this day. Senior Armstrong is a goober. Senior Armstrong is a brilliant man. He could make America great again. Heck, he came up with that before it was a meme. Donald Trump imitated him. What are you going to do after this ends? I'm going to finish editing my Dragon Quest, like, semi-review, and then do some brainstorming, and then I might probably head to the gym afterwards. Dead Space 2 was like the Alien sequel to Alien. I wouldn't say that, because there was a good amount of action in Dead Space 1 too, so... Dead Space 1 also, so... Especially in the remake, so... I understand the statement, but it's kind of inaccurate. Have I seen Rambo? Yes, I have. I've seen all the Rambos except the last one. That didn't look very good. Honestly, if Armstrong would run for president, I would vote for him. I would vote for him too. I would. He's a man I can believe in. Kingdom Hearts 2 tier list. You know what? I don't like the idea. But if I can find, I'll tell you what, if I can actually find a tier list, because a lot of these characters, I won't know their names. But I'll give it a shot. Like, if I know who they are, I'll do it. But if I don't know who they are, you're just going to get, like all the members of Organization 13, I have, outside of one character, I don't know their names. So you're just going to get, like, a lot of characters, and, like, I don't know this character. I don't know their name. They didn't have much of a presence. They didn't leave an impact on me. They were just, they showed up, I beat them up. They died, they're gone, move on. The only one who stood out is Xemnas, or Xehanort. And he's the leader, but like he's like the main villain of the franchise anyway, so... I mean, I'll give it a I mean, if I can find a list, I'll do it, but I don't think it's going to be very good. True, there's a lot of characters in Kingdom Hearts 2 that are all fighting on screen time. I was like, it's like, can you name all of the members of Organization 13? Did they, more than half of them were dead before Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, I think Riku killed like 4 or 5 of them in Chain of Memories. I think Sora killed like 3 of them, maybe 4. So, like, by the time it started, there was only like 5 members left. So 8 of them were dead. So I think like Sora killed 3, maybe 4, and Riku killed 3 or maybe 4 in Chain of Memories. And so there was only like 5, maybe 6 members left. Marvel Wolverine looks good. Yeah, I agree. It does look good. I plan on getting it. Is there any Metal Gear Solid that is similar to Final Fantasy? In what way? Because Metal Gear Solid 3 is an espionage game and Final Fantasy are RPGs, so you can't... They're not even in the same genre, so how do you... They're not comparable in any way. I mean, I guess the closest one might be Dirge of Cerberus, which is a third-person shooter, but even that is not Metal Gear. Like, that's more of like a straight-up shooter, as opposed to Metal Gear, where that's like an option. It's not how you progress. And we got about 3 minutes left. So get your last questions out before we head out. Tries to recall all Organization 13. I don't think anyone can. Favorite summoning in Final Fantasy? Easy, Bahamut. Easy. Not even a question. Bahamut. Easy. My favorite summoning. Easy. Do you believe Metal Gear Solid 4 should have been the end of the whole franchise? Absolutely. I mean, story-wise, it is the end of the franchise. Is it Metal Gear Solid realistic? No. It's not realistic. Absolutely not. It's not real. Minus Shiva. Okay. Yeah, Shiva's got some really cool designs. If Cloud and Tidus were to switch places, who would struggle more? Definitely Tidus. Definitely Tidus. I think he'd be useful, but, you know, he'd be more of a side character. You throw Cloud with the party, you don't really need Cloud because you have Auron. But, you know, Cloud would not have any problems in Spira or taking down Sin. Yeah, definitely Tidus. Tidus would be, like, I don't know what Tidus would do against someone like Sephiroth. They're in real trouble. So, do you have any suggestions? Ignore anything from the 4th game. What for 4th game of... No, there's nothing after the 4th game. No, I would just... It's over. Just stop. Just stop. How well would... We do not speak that name on this channel. Good, nice try. I don't know who that is, man. I don't... That is not a character. That is not a Final Fantasy character. So, the question itself is wrong. And we got about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Well, we're in the last... Clive would definitely beat Sephiroth, no question. Clive would 100% beat Sephiroth. He's perhaps like the one character I can think of that absolutely could take down Sephiroth at his peak. If Sephiroth was going all out, all serious, using all his powers and was not holding back, Clive is definitively the one character I think could definitely take Sephiroth down, no question. It'd be a really tough fight, but he has an answer to everything Sephiroth could do. Everything. Even every form of Sephiroth. Like, he could even respond to Supernova. And that would be impressive. So, yeah. Have I played Oblivion or Skyrim? No. And what do I think of True Lies? It's a great Arnold Schwarzenegger film. And with that, I'm going to end the stream there. I want to thank everyone that happened to have time to stop by. We will continue this next week around the same time. And hopefully, if any of you guys have any time, you can join me on my Twitch stream as I finish Kingdom Hearts over the next couple of days. And like always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for joining the stream. And I will catch you all guys next week.